Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nubia, the ongoing Crusader Kings 3 series here on the Lord Master channel. As we will let time take along, as there isn't much to discuss other than, oh, we're stalling for time, make some money, and in how many months' time? 13 months' time, we'll have this claim fabricated of Kyrgyz. So that way I can go petition to the king in a hurry, give me that land, and I will appoint a vassal to rule these lands, and this will give me access to likely a duchy holy war against Vladimir Fernakis, because my ambition is to go to the sea, gain access to the sea through a dub, which is a feudal holding. You know, it's held by a tribal ruler, so wrong government type. And they haven't invested much in this land, and it's not so defensible. So this will work out for us. So, let's get to it. $30 gold, thank you very much. Every little bit helps with the income. It's a wonder how in the previous... Hey! You, the king used to hold this land, but as you are its primary heir. Say, what say you, Alright, now look. In case something bad happens to you, though. Alright, fellow vassal. And I wish I could bring you in. Alright, if I will. I mean, I would hate to fight a war over it just to get this piece of land, but nah, I would just be well out of my way. Not to mention other priorities. As I do have other priorities. I'm just looking something up, that's why I'm not talking about at the moment. Other than just pass the time and wait for money to come in, because that money is going to be spent on fabricating that claim. Since the Pope isn't going to give me a claim, as I'm a sinner to the eyes of them. And among other things. Okay. Okay, they have negative 14 gold, which means they spend on mercenaries and as well as maintenance if they keep them raised like that. I mean, if I wanted it to, I could fight a war to take this, but the problem is high fort level, so therefore it'll take years to take this place without having any kind of proper siege weaponry. All that. Form a coalition against the prince. A coalition for what? Yes, it's nice to have a mutual ally or two. But we'll think about it. Oh, war veteran. One-eyed. There's no need for that. I got some of the best men of the day, best men of the age, and then as well as me being the best, leader that there is. And we're strong enough to take on Blemia, as it was demonstrated. Yeah. Now, remember, unfortunately, a period of discord is going to be more than accord. Because what happened? War declarations, plunder now farmers and war on pastoralists, which happens very often. More than the accord, or do these back exchanges. Like, maybe I should be more gift giving. Clave it war for us to vote us. Although this is something you ought to consider. Those alliances you negotiated. Hey, I don't suppose you boys of the Karga have any siege weaponry. Yeah, you do. Okay, I remember. You do have some, but not a lot. Regarding the Coptic culture of what it has or doesn't. We were thinking about raiding them, but they're largely prepared now. Wait for a more opportune moment. Such as when he's at war, we can face internal challenges from factions. Healthy, but you know, shit. And neither are you. I apparently fell asleep while working hard last night. Perhaps I'm overworking myself hard. Well, I do like to lose more stress, so maybe I should take a break. Ah, yes, Agatha. I forget. You're more into learning. Well, you can learn it from the most wise woman there is. Oh yeah, sometimes I forget I can demand payments, even if I get them off of my own children. The heck? I'd only do that if I'm desperate for gold. And in case the religious head decides to not give me any. Oh, he does get plenty. Alright, that's what I'm saving my open space for the domain for. It's gonna be for that. So, I think you should hold it temporarily. Because it does have stables. I can move my cavalry over there to be stationed there. Welcome aboard. Every little bit helps. Because we all need good fighting men in our ranks. Every little bit helps. March of Nobadia. My half sister. An alliance with them. Sure, cousin, you got it. I mean, if you aren't busy with any hostilities, especially getting involved in the wars of Darfur, then I could definitely call you in to help us out up here. Because I don't think luck alone will be, would be wise. Sumerian claim of Lodia. Shamir, that's our vassal. I mean, I'm in no mood to fight a war right now, so I'll decline. Because why on earth would I fight against a neighboring vassal? Despite the potential for a lot of loot there, but... Is it possible, like, after you decline, you could call it again? You could call it this war already. Oh, shit. Maybe I should have called it in. Go with them. Because the, one, we'd be taking this bit of land. Let me go kiss up to him. I could do that. Raid your own fellows. You can't do that against allies. They're too distant. Insignificant. Gee, when you have access to, you could possibly raid these guys. Insignificant. Needs bigger target. Too distant. Too distant. We'll keep those ideas well in mind. But apparently I could do that against my own liege, even though it probably wouldn't like it, and it's not wise to do that. Three months. That's the Fatimate. They're going that way. Though we don't consider them hostile. Because that's none of my business. But you're in my place. Over the course of several months, the dynasties of my region are all planning a grand foreign meeting to which, of course, I will be invited. Everybody's expected to deliver a speech and a conference explaining how to address matters of state while delving on my dynasty history and feats. I must, however, decide the risk of delivering an uninspired speech is worth the hassle, and I just let everybody my attendings with the same view. Well, I'll instill fear on everyone, because I got the dread for it. Here it comes. How much? 72 gold? Fair enough. Now I must go petition to the king real quick. No? None of your claims are held by your liege, or they cannot offer profit title. Perhaps I'll fight for it then. Because while they're over there, the armies of Napata and Shamir, which I can actually beat both of you. Since we face similar numbers to the Blemians up there. Which again, I need Courtiers, so that way I can go for these instead of, you know, like over there. You know, that's connected via Nile River. Or at Bara River, to be exact. That's why it's connected there. So, all the more reasons why I've got to have this. So well then, it's war then. My claim. It'll cost quite a bit of piety and prestige. Alright. After all, I'm doing my ally a favor. Because Shamir wants a claim on the Kingdom of Makuria. And I would hate to see it, but this is going to be a way to stop him. Taking this objective, it's a fort level 4, and the capital is only a fort level 3. Easy for us. It's just, I didn't predict that I would be fighting a war against a fellow Nubian vassal, but like we usually do it by peaceable means. But now that will not be the case. You can bring your friends if you like, but you're not going to stop me of my ambition. Vassal reinforcements. That's what we've got here. And we'll assemble here. War preparations, divine favor. My court chaplain seeks your attention as battle plans are being finalized. My lord, the heathens have forced our hand. Now the divine's will must be carried out through steel and fire. Before armies march, I propose we commission holy relics for our soldiers to carry into battle. Blessed banners, sacred medallions, and prayer scrolls to strengthen their resolve. This would require a donation of a small sum of gold, but the Almighty shall surely reward such piety with victory. Our enemies will tremble before our warriors, protected by divine favor. Mind you, we're not facing those heathens out east. Just fighting fellow Christians, just for this land, to give us access to fight the said heathen. Whoa. That's nice and all, but let faith alone guide our soldiers. This is not a holy war. This is a claimant war. As I said, bring your friends. Bring them all on. Move on. Take the objective, then take the capital. War preparations, so they've reinforced up. But we're still making very good income due to being, you know, war profiteer and master of raids that we have of income while at war. Yeah, they're retreating back. You know, we'll be crossing the Nile for this. The Duke himself. Everybody will converge. Outrage, I just tell you. Right, that's why Duke joined in. I just noticed that the old one passed through. He died from internal injuries. From the fight, no less, down there. And this is a new one he's quite a fighter himself. But he's nowhere near a military man. Like he was. Pata is nowhere to be seen. Enemy formed alliance with another Count. Count of El Fascia. Jesko, just like his father and grandfather, shares the dream of a united Poland, utilizing both diplomacy and military force. He plans to subjugate the surrounding realms to create a prosperous and lasting kingdom that will weather the ages. To achieve this goal, he is willing to negotiate with his foreign enemies. I have my doubts on him. At least we don't have to take the Nile crossing penalty. We'll be fighting over there. Alliance expired. Alright, the advantage goes to us. We got them all. And not to mention we captured his heir. Although it would be wise to just take the capital instead of the real objective here. I don't want to destroy any buildings by accident. I don't want him to lose control, so we'll do it here. Stood strong in the face of the enemy. My soldiers fought valiantly so far in the battle of the barony of Shemkia, but are slowly growing tired as their foes push harder and harder. They have rage against their demise. After a prolonged period of combat, the strong enemy counterpush, and then stumbling around, exhausted and in dire need of motivation. Seeing the opportunity to deliver some inspiration, I step up to give my warriors a stirring speech to reinvigorate them and restore their drive to continue battling against a difficult foe. Once I step up, I begin to ponder what I might say as a few of my soldiers stop fighting and watch me in admiration. Alright, take heed of these words, my brave soldiers. 60% chance that my speech impresses soldiers, 39% chance deeply inspires them to be a powerful speaker, 0% chance that your speech somebody loses self-confidence. Take a drink. Some of you are farmers, born in the granaries that fed our nation. Some of you are villagers in the towns that we lived in, and grew into the people we are now. Some of you, like me, were raised by our fathers and grandfathers to show no mercy to the scum that might threaten our brothers and sisters and families we have at home. The same people who eat from our farms, live in our villages, and raise our children. Today we fight for those people. For those souls who know nothing of the horrors we face on this battlefield today. Maybe today is the day I see the heavens, and maybe yours comes soon after. Let us meet in that realm as warriors, unfazed by the strength of our enemies. We fight to the end, unshaken by the storms that shake mountains to the ground. We stand unscathed by the fires of demons who may scorch our souls. We stand now, together, and we fight. Are you with me? I boom to my soldiers, who begin to shout in anticipation of combat that comes. As I raise my blade, the rumble of footsteps beside me stops the enemy's advance in his tracks, even sends some of them into a retreat, terrified by the blind fear I instilled in my warriors. Unfazed, unshaken, unscathed, charge! So, there's that result. Deeply inspired by the soldiers. So, it's a fort level 3 now instead of a level 2, because that war preparation thing just went out of the window. So now, the grueling pace of siege warfare at its finest or worst. But I do have quite a number of soldiers in the garrison. I'm sitting around a map table with Mayor Pavasinen and Count Shakanda, discussing our strategy for the ongoing war. Pavasinen bangs his Fist on the table and louder proclaims we should charge the enemy directly and crush them with the sheer might of our armies. While Shakanda explains we need to watch what our foes do and respond accordingly. It is my right to decide our ultimate course of action. I know we can employ both of those strategies if we ever face combat again, which is unlikely at this point. Episcopos investigated has gained a spotless reputation for his absolute rejection of any carnal pleasure. His unwavering discipline has served as an example to follow many young cops trying to resist the debasing lure of lechery. He is an example to us all. You know, if you don't do what he says, well, he was once a black noble, but you'll get the idea. We're going to get a lot of loot for this. And some of that money will contribute to the war chest for the future conflict against Blimia. I'll temporarily hold Kyrgyz for myself, since, you know, it's going to be at the main limit. There we go, big jump. Big jump on starvation. Siege progress. Captured outposts. Ah, damn it. But mind you, we don't have siege weapons effective, so that doesn't really matter. But the amount of potential loot just went down because of the low flood, very low flood of the Nile. We can take what we could get, alright? That's all we gotta do. Count of Napata killed in action during their war against the Melodians. I was walking outside of the garden with the rest of my coal and my foot slipped and I nearly tumbled. Thankfully I caught my stub before it was too late. It was still embarrassing to happen in front of the whole court as I must have looked like a fool. I'll make a self-deprecating joke. Alright, the king has won. Offer guardianship? Oh, no thank you. Mediated guild's unity once again earns us more gold. Again, once you take capital, we win the war. We don't have to take the main objective of Kyrgyz. It'll be spared from making the control to go down. And destroying it does. 50 gold. Okay, this will compensate for not getting enough loot than what we would have liked. Got your son too. I step out of my tents and my siege camp sprawls out before me. A chaos of tents and smoke and the bustle of voices, flags and banners fly in the damp wind. Bright colors mix hopelessly in the grey rain. Rosy smoke of and guttery flames light the scene with a flickering orange glow. The soldiers sit around holding tankards of mead, relax a small talk of camaraderie. Smoke from their fires drifts and fills the air. The smell of food cooking on spits by the bonfire grows stronger. My lower retainer approaches forms the siege center. I gather my bodyguards head to the edge of the camp. A barony of Shemkia stands before me, a charcoal bastion. In the fields between, tents burn and bodies are strewn. Corpses of butchered warriors litter the roads. Shocked and hungry survivors stumble over the smoking streets, looting what remains. Because I'm a vengeful person, I must allow looting and imprison every single person you see. This land is mine. I get the county, and I hold it for myself. And control doesn't go down that much. Have at it. "9 years. Well, that will soon go away. Protest against Royal City. It's gone now. Oh god, now what? Again, another war involving the Darfur region. And Farah wants all of this now. So my advice to you is stay away from Darfur. Say, we had to fight a war for it instead of petitioning a king to what we like. Royal visit to raise popular opinion on counties. Hang on. It's the popular opinion. Well, the offensive war will go down in no time. There was high taxes there, wildlife depletion. Nile River's gone bad. King ain't doing nothing, so as a preventative measure, we should ask him to have a royal visit to raise popular opinion in the counties. Just tour my lands for a while. No need to fortify borders. What say you? As I will go to him with haste. I will try to get control restored over there. Just as we're about to set out, it starts pouring down rain. As far as the eye can see. I can't help but curse my poor luck. When I'd seen the dark clouds coming for a while. If we want to make our journey on time, we have to set out. But it's a risky journey with the weather being what it is. An opportunity to rest, I say. Don't go anywhere, King. My cousin has been showing signs of pregnancy for some time. Everyone thought that her husband, Eosus, was the father of the child. It was become clear that the real father to be is none other than Kativa Yakuno. Oh my, what a scandal. Cousin. I'm here. Is it no longer valid? Unfortunately, you arrived at a difficult time. Must inform you unable to receive your company in my halls. Refusing to even listen to me? The nerve of that man! Just revoke the harsh law over there, and we'll get it under control soon. Sit by the campfire after a long day, a group of tribes approached us in the dark. A band of knights, led by the proud-looking man. Each one of the knights looked richer than the next. Lord, it's my pleasure to meet you. I'm a man called of the Order of Saint Anthony. We've been on a long journey to get to Dongola. We need some rest before the last stretch. Will you share your campfire? Get a wee cook on him. Maybe I'll try to recruit him over here. Hey, would you like to come to court? Because we would love to have you in our ranks. By God's nails, we're going to be late. Thank goodness for tax relief. Alright. Tunid invasion is still ongoing, but they haven't got to there yet, because they're more focused on defense. And Sodia, but whenever can negotiate an alliance, right, between us? Yeah, of course. Now, do we have the means to? Yes. Now you do. But not enough piety. No, I wouldn't worry about that too much. We can get piety easily. Just simply go on a pilgrimage or something. But there's actually some work to do first. Engage in Nubian agricultural practices. Let me see. More holding taxes for the areas that I have control of. Yes, that would do. Not concerned about development as much as want more taxes. And soon we're gonna perform our Minister of Now border tasks, which I'll have a look at it. Again, it's related to diplomacy skill. But I believe it's you have to do more of, just do this, because this is one that you know more of. Hold it right there. Actually, you should, see if you could do this. You got it. Okay, you know what? Give diplomacy a chance. Correspond with counterpart, that's what I would do. Noreen has been drumming against the window since dawn. The world is turning outside to blur, gray and green. Days like these are made for curl up with a good book. Yeah, days like these are made for curl up with a good book. Drowsily dreaming of a day, wave my head in a world of words and wonder. Walk over to my personal collection of books and decide which one to lose myself in. Okay, we can get piety easily by any means. So, read tales of legendary battles, since I'm still in that martial lifestyle. Give diplomacy a chance, despite me being deeply frustrated recently. The 19th of September is coming up. Master of the Beaten. My Legion's conflict with Alfred drags on. As his marshal, I plot logistics, press peasants into service, quiet local unrest, but now the riders deliver grim tidings. At Taberna, the Knights of Makuria failed. Duke Anastasia Shamir's battle line was broken, and our whole army is cast into a desperate rout. Now as our warriors flee, Nagosa event for us host advances on the kingdom. Woo! That's quite a lot to help him out. I could join the war on the defending side. But I said now, a marshal's vigor is needed. 200 lifestyle experience. And, oh, you just had... Ah, that explains it. That explains it, why I couldn't petition to the king. He was in the middle of a coordination ceremony. And I was not invited because I already left at that point. I get it. But anyways, see if you can correspond to counterpart. Franco communication between the border governors of Nubia and Egypt, even through formulaic messages or gifts, are necessary to ensure good relations and reduce hostility between the people of these two lands. Because, like I thought about expanding into Egyptian territory up in these mountains, but no. I have other means now to get to the sea. So in the meantime, we gotta have a dialogue between us. Message to the governor of Aswan, our neighbor up there. As Lord of the Mountain, it's my duty to maintain the border between Nubia and Egypt near Aswan. It is an unenviable task I share with my counterpart across the border, the governor of Aswan, who I work with regularly. It's been a while since I've directly corresponded with the current governor, Wali Akin. Communications is necessary to avoid any unnecessary conflict and tension, and to ensure the safe flow of people and goods across Aswan. I have thus drafted a formal letter to Sindakin, detailing some of the recent matters related to the border, and informing him about the latest news in Makuria. Perhaps I should even send him a small gift while I'm at it. Small gift of gold. Okay, that'll do. So I'll send a letter and a gift of token of goodwill with 18 gold. So again, it depends on the diplomacy skill and the opinion of the counterpart as you. As much as I would love to compliment the man, but you have any idea how much that costs these? Okay, it actually doesn't cost as much. But again, I can get them by a means easily. So, 68% chance of success that the letter comes off as hospitable, and there's a higher chance that your counterpart will respond positively. 20% chance of neither success nor failure, where your letter comes off as formal, it's still there and will not influence whether the counterpart responds positively or negatively. 12% chance of failure, it comes out as condescending, and there's a higher chance your counterpart will respond negatively. Send. After sending my letter to Waliak in our capacity as Lord of the Mountain and Governor of Aswan respectively, I received an Navigable response from him. It appears he interpreted my letter in a positive light, or at least pretends to, and responded likewise in a friendly and polite manner. The letter of his messenger carries and informs me of the various goings-on this side of the border, and appreciates the open communication between the two of us. Glad to hear back from him. So, 5% chance that the correspondence was a minor success. But there's a 95% chance of a major success. So yeah. What has happened actually is sent the friendly letter back to me, however, because the letter came out as condescending to make me look weak and spineless. You sure about that? But it was a major success nonetheless. You're almost there. Now I must do a pious task. I mean, you've gone to St. Cat's Monastery, so you should go to St. Anthony's Monastery. Though located in an isolated oasis of Egypt's eastern desert, the Monastery of St. Anthony has been a prominent Christian monastic institution and pilgrimage site in this region for centuries. So this will be an act of devotion this time. It's located up in Kozlum. No need to travel recklessly. Get a forder. Yeah, just a forder and a private army. Meanwhile, minor church grant. Don't want to spend too much on it. Like, I don't care about the prestige nor the renown, just the piety. I need the piety so I can start that holy war against the Blemians over there. And let it be for worship to gain extra piety. Over 10 guests are invited. For those that will not come, well, fair enough. Again, not everybody will be here, but I just like throwing a bunch of potential guests around to those who could go and those who cannot. Let us go. So you're somewhat like myself. But let me influence personality. Impatient or trusting. Even though it's don't want to add too many traits unless it messes with our head a bit. Ward's martial drill. Pass the commander trait on my ward. Right, after all, she's gonna have a martial skill, so she should be a raider too, just like me, because of the benefit of hostile county attrition. Rather than, you know, do any of that raiding stuff. But you get the idea. Shall be an adult in a couple of months. Long ago, in the early days of the church, Saint Anthony emerged as one of the greatest figures of Christian monasticism. We owe him much for inspiring us in our faith, and because of that, Saint Anthony's monastery, built close to where he resided as a hermit, has become a popular pilgrimage site over the years. As one such pilgrim, I now begin my arduous journey to the eastern desert towards this pilgrimage. May the Lord protect me on my journey. While traversing a challenging path in Sheikh Dawood, I hear laughter ahead. My friend Najib and my master horse Theodosius are working together across a tricky river crossing. Najib, your idea to build a makeshift bridge was brilliant, exclaims Theodosius, and replies each other. And your quick thinking of the sturdy branches tied it all together. This will hasten our journey indeed. Not my counting. Whereas the guard looks bored after looking at the military tactics on the map for hours now. I get up and throw the sparring swords out. Let's go outside. First direct hit to the body wins. This we already exchange a quick few blows. She pulls me into a cinch. We wrestle till she backs down some. I believe this is yours. She smirks more. Draw my ring. You'll be a great commander one day. As she already knows the gist of the raider spirit. The sun scorches the sands of Kalabsha, making each step a testament of endurance. Yet amid this arid expanse, an oasis of greenery blooms, an agricultural marvel at the heart of the desert. As we admire this anomaly, the steward of these lands approaches at his sun-worn home. Travelers, he calls out, come witness the fruits of our labor. Mayhap your care tells the triumph over the sands back to your homelands. Thank you, we must decline, because I'm impatient and I would like to be there soon, and as well. Got to have every advantage we could get. As I stroll around the market hall, a loud ruckus comes from a couple of stalls down from me. There's a furious man, animated, waving his hand. Mary Eudocia, why have your head for this? He yells at another merchant. Oh, Hux looks even angry. Love to see her try. The stone dismisses the merchant and waves his hand. Angrily turning his bodyguards, the merchant clearly intends to get the deal one way or the other. What spectacle. Quiet. Thuggish recruiting. Ah, fuck. Save her. Lost supplies. She's the great physician. One thing I noticed in Pastor at Fed is that every other child claims to be a philosopher. At first I'm skeptical of this. After being roundly outwitted in my third conversation in a row, I start to think perhaps there's something to their claims. The latest philosopher Meta is practically laughing at my latest attempts at logical argument. What can I personally learn? Yeah, that's where Kozlum is. It's the Sultan of Canal, the Pharaohs, long ago. I had something else in mind. something I glanced at earlier. I'll be gallant in a couple months, but I'll keep the martial lifestyle going. Oh, right. You can claim your Legion's title. Wonder if I want to do that. Wait for coming of age, my tuition of Mariska is at an active, enthusiastic child. No surprise that she has done well in her studies of war and combat. She showed great aptitude in both battle tactics and the management of armies. She'll make a fine commander one day, I'm sure. Grew up so fast. She also picked up flexible leader. She's got a lizard-like demeanor. She's sly and adaptable, often displaying a cunning and opportunistic nature within a court. Possesses a keen sense of survival and is skilled at blending in their surroundings. Court interactions are marked by a calculated and elusive approach. You're about to lose Istafur. Tired, thirsty, in need of sleep. My companions arrive at St. Anthony's Monastery. Our long journey into the desert is complete. While we are relieved that we can finally rest, or more later that we are finally here. One of the greatest monasteries in Egypt, to walk in the steps of the great St. Anthony. We'll find somewhere to stay while we're here, and then tomorrow we can truly appreciate this place in the spirituality. Thank God we are here at last. A gift? Oh, thank you. I guess it's largely because you have so much money you have no idea what you're gonna do with other than you give it to me. Thank you very much. Fired you once, T-boy, but now I'll just swear you. Easy to do. Over the past few days, I've spent my time at St. Anthony's Monastery in prayer and worship. It's not remarkable that these remote area has stood the trials and tribulations of time, and since the days of the ascetic followers of St. Anthony, survived as a steadfast, sturdy reminder of the glory of our Christian faith. There are a number of interesting sights or things I could examine while I'm here at the monastery. Now I spent some time in prayer and worship. Probably should look into them once I have the time. I should hike to the cave of St. Anthony on Mount Cozy. So 50 piety, gain a slight stress, and 25% chance you may become inspired by it. Unfortunately, it's time for me to leave St. Anthony's Monastery. I've stayed here for quite some time, but I must return to my normal duties back at home. While I do not know if and when I will return to the monastery, I've nevertheless found a spiritually rejuvenating experience. Many praises St. Anthony, whose example still inspires us to this day. It's time to pack up and prepare to go home. Look at all that piety. 200 plus 150 plus 100. So that's 450 piety. along with the trade experience. Yeah, that's more than enough of what we need to start a war against Lemia. Oh, one more thing. Move them. Station them over in Kyrgyz, home of the stables. Apply the blood. Picked up a wandering clerk. You know, I'm starting to think we should go for that. Like just stop right there. If I do any more of that travel stuff, we should go pick up the inspection activity. But again, I got more money to burn. And the cost of hiring mercenaries, if needed during wartime, isn't as much as it once was. Unless laws say otherwise. Yeah, I figured. Monument expedition. You did exceptional with the diplomacy part. That I think having more stewardship would be excellent too, so look, you're good as you are on the martial front, but you need to increase my stewardship. But the question is where? Why not the gold mine? It's a point of interest at all in very short distance. Yeah, why not? To the gold mine. Don't care if it's dangerous out there. Just gotta travel. And put some money into that. For knowledge hoarding. I'm the Nubians. Okay, we're going there because of gold. Knowledge to be found in that gold mine. This morning we asked for directions on our next destination. Locals passing by on the road to Courtiers. No, not sure we should have. We were lost, in other words. The directions we're trying to follow, were they bad directions to begin with, or do we misunderstand them? Maybe we should go that way. Peasant revolt down there. My excitement mounts as I near the barony of Abu Hamad. The prospect of witnessing its splendor fills me with anticipation. The examine unrailing the secrets held by the gold mine fills me with an insatiable thirst of knowledge. With a sense of eager anticipation, I'm wanted ready to be captivated by this beauty of this place. I wonder how do they run things here. I must know. I want to increase my stewardship this time, not martial. That'll be for another time. It's all about stewardship now. Now I approach a brutish-looking man carrying an impressive collection of furs on his stand. He seems a prolific hunter. I got vole, blackbird, antelope, Get your meats and pelts here, he shouts. Suddenly looks me straight into the eyes. His gaze piercing as hyena. Ah, a marquis. For you must have the most raw meat of all. Gorilla. Gorilla? Gorilla meat, that's crazy. Oh, I don't have a master hunt right now. Hyena fangs. Illustrious trinket. Learning per level of fame. Arsenal schemes success chance. Interesting, but you know your way around here. Please show me. Greatly increases the hunter trait experience. Which, as it stands currently, it's only 6. And after doing that, it still stands at 6. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Need a new master to hunt. Someone young and excellent. Damn, we got a lot of excellent people. I'd have that man there. See too if you could find a legendary game. I'm 35 and still in the prime of my life. As the silhouette of the enormous mine breaks the horizon, anticipation swells within me. As I arrive at the location, its unique character and sense of history exudes are immediately apparent. It stands a testament to the legacy of this land, and each aspect of this place tells a story ready to be discovered. After all, back in the days of ancient Egypt, they once called Nubia the land of gold. It's time to make notes. As I walk the grounds, I spot a clear marking on the rocky entrance of the gold mine. It's pristine, untouched, and clear view of passers-by, just waiting for someone to eternalize their name. I glance down to see a chisel-like stone beckoning me. There must be wisdom hidden among the carvings. 50-50 now. Get your miniature gold mine here, the peddler's voice echoes loud across the marketplace. Upon closer inspection, I noticed the clay trinkets to be of remarkable quality. Everything is there, down to the finest detail. It's honestly unbelievably good. Made by hand, my lord. Would you like to purchase one? Huh. If only. But, however, you must show me how you made them. See if I can learn it. 65% chance now. Here we go. The time has come to pack my things and head back home. I wandered the grounds of the gold mine and see many sights, made notes and drawings, and met with local Nubians. I do not believe I'll forget this journey anytime soon. Farewell, gold mine, and farewell, rich Abu Hamad. You got an extra skill point. Not just one, but 2 stewardship skill. You got it, man. Just jumped up to 19 due to other factors. Trying through the rugged terrain of Kurdistan. The challenge arises as the ground cracks and crumbles. My spy master Scarab and my wife Legia begin to argue about the best approach to traverse this treacherous trail. As just reckless exclaims Legia, visibly frustrated, retorts, yours is cowardly. It seems my answer is an impasse. Listen to me. You need to work together. See? We're home already. Largely prepared. He's out traveling right now. He's doing it in the middle of a grand tour. Alright. But again, he's not a military man by any stretch of the imagination. But before we even think about going to war, we need to find out what do they have. Also back under full control, so you can do that now. Just let it grow organically. So don't start a war yet. As I become gallant, +2 martial, +4 prowess, and even more monthly prestige. Right, I would like to pick up inspection to go along with the minor expedition, especially inspection, because lands I'm about to conquer are going to be very valuable to me, so it would be wise to get this. So go for destination focus. You'll get that next perk in 2 years' time. So it's temporary. I'll switch back to martial. So I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of the advantage since I got enough of that via martial skill. Along with certain perks and traits and such things. Again, what we're going to be dealing with there. Fort level 7, Fort level 9, Fort level 3. The invasion of Egypt is over. The Fatimids have failed to take any part of this, so they live. You won a historic invasion. Lost a bit of Darfur, and if they don't get their act together, then they might lose that part of Darfur too. I was outside taking a walk with my father in the garden. While walking behind him, I noticed a gold coin fell out of his pocket. He didn't notice at first. It's gone inside. Should I tell him about it? Give it back. It's the right thing to do. Makes such good income these days. It was with dismay I noticed the mayor, of course, has been influenced my vassals by spending his own resources to lower their opinion of me. Things are not going to plan. Despicable behavior on his part. Leave it. God damn it, man. Negotiate alliance of Axel. Oh my goodness. Where the hell did they get that many men? And the amount of gold that they will use for mercenaries? Damn it. Okay. An alliance of Axum sounds like a good idea. Because we do need another strong kingdom. If they're not tied in the middle of something, we may have a chance. So, thank you. Now, are you willing to fight a holy war against them? Raiding them is no longer an option. You know, you could possibly holy war for the whole damn kingdom, and even though that would cost you way too much. So it's best that you take Nakis. Remember, to the sea. The sea is important. They have no allies, and we could bring everybody en masse. So that will not be an issue, especially when we bring Axum with us. Hey, I don't suppose your culture has No, they don't. But our friends of Kaga do. And another thing. Oh, the tribe of Dan or whatever, they're gone now. They've gone off somewhere. Well, these guys, we can have the Order of St. Anthony to back us up. So I hope you're all ready. So let me look at my knights. Our lowest skilled knight is of level 6. Which, to be fair, it's old age. And maybe catching up to them soon. And we don't really have time to invite a couple more knights to. Quite. That one's costed. Although I think we should keep well in mind that that the idea of they have that many men and that many gold, that could be largely due to you know, tribal levies on some of these. We just do need a few more excellent fighting men to join our ranks. Court supplier. Lineage of traveling merchants. I see. Again, we got enough money to get mercenaries if needed. My time in Cappadocia. As I scoured through my belongings for looking for something else, I came across an old figurine of giant serpents, which I picked up during my visit of Cappadocia. As I look at it, I recall the Silesian Gates, a place I have not thought about in a long time. As I reminisce, Agatha suddenly comes watching. What is that? She was curious, kind of a little figurine. May gain extra wandering lifestyle experience or stress loss if you travel through Cappadocia. Like, why would I want to go back there again? I'll say, this is from Cappadocia. Perhaps I could bring you there one day. If I have any reason to be up there. One of the larger villages of Abu Hamad, a respected elder, recently passed away. He was beloved by all for his virtue and wisdom. As a community leader for many years, he had a good relationship with many and always strove to improve everyone's lives. Few had anything bad to say about him. His funeral attracted many who wished to pay their final respects. Some of you claimed his spirit will provide the land many blessings before he passes to the afterlife. May his soul rest in peace. Excellent, then. You're gonna pay me money if I accept this war. Well, it's a claimant war. Well, they're not included. So, god dang it. I have to decline because, again, I already made my plans known. Don't want to send a war all the way over there. Yeah. I could bring you in instead. Since your liege is too busy. Come on in. Soon we'll have one more man to recruit, and then we'll be ready for war. It's just we're saving up all this gold so we can hire at least one mercenary band, and to maintain, if you can. Oh, crud. Flemmy is attacking again. Blah. Well, this presents a golden opportunity. An opportunity to defeat their armies again, and then we'll go on the offensive against them. Gotta go. Help them out. This is a defensive war. We have to join them so we can, once again prove our might that we can defeat them in battle. And when we do, then then we'll go on the offensive to the sea. Let's do it. The counter Mogia cultures was a cost to the streets firm over some minor offense. If I could save that offense, I could perhaps convince my March Tibor equally Mogia of good character. Risk alienating my Nubian peers. Well, Nubians are the spare moral fiber around here. Let's move out. They say they're more numerous than ours, but we shall see. That's been usually the case. Don't go out there, King. Let us do the fighting for you. You can join, but you will not be in our army. You must wait. Let's just find them. There they are. Remember, we don't take much casualties because I'm a raider. Less attrition. So who knows where they might be going. Wherever they go, we'll find them. My good companion Najib's been off with me over the last few days, each not avoiding my invitation to dine. Today he catches me alone in my chamber. Taberna, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you this, as your friend. Your implicit faith in motives of all others to put you in a bad stead. Sure, I must say that Marcus is no good to behave this way. Let's agree to disagree. Why not? He comes around. I see, they're going down this way. Since these are vassal reinforcements, where's the rest of the main army? I got it already down there. Spare the gold because money is going to be used for mercenaries in the offensive war that's planned. I'll fight both of your armies. I'll take both of you on. The advantage goes to me. Did not contribute to the war score, but destroyed their army again. Oh, there's the real main army down there. They went around. Move up. We'll be there in 3 months. They fought against the army of Alodia. Well, they're giving them a beating, but they're outnumbered. I think. Wait. Oh, really? Lodia's holding on. Excellent. Well done. Well, then we'll give chase to them. Wherever they might be going. The lake is leading the charge. Alright, they actually managed to defend a part of Darfur. I'm headed for my chambers to Joyce, but let's sleep when I hear a faint rustle in the window. Just the wind, I take it till the wind starts to speak. Maybe because... Open up my pedal outside. Oh no! What's this result in the Overhaul? The man's climbed up and it's Vic Mindy. What did you just call my daughter, you pig? Traded to West Buckland. Headed to North Buckland. Just assume they're headed up there. Going to Buckland. Retreating to Buckland. East Buckland, West Buckland, North Buckland. Yeah, Buckland itself. Sidcut, is that correct? Again, I want to give chase and destroy their army. For a fort level 7 takes 3 years. Now imagine what a fort level 9 is going to be like. Move up. All the way. Where you catch them. Yes, all the way to their capital. Doesn't matter advantage or not, they're outnumbered. They may have the home field advantage, but they're badly outnumbered. Stop. Inspection. Switch. Army pursuit increase to try to kill them as much as possible. Now they're greatly reduced. And besieging a fort level 3 area takes about 9 months. And you know, it's also a chance of destruction of one of its buildings. Keep that well in mind. Capture the direct vassal of enemy. So now the armies of Makuria are going to be fully committed to this war. During this dark period, words become apparent to me that much would be gained by mingling with the common soldiers, sergeants, and men-at-arms, debating tactics with them, checking on whom they were capable of better interacting in the battlefield, their specific capabilities and liabilities. Of course, mingling, discussing ideas, and even worse, seeking advice that common soldiers will affect my prestige, which corners me in dilemma. Certainly, on the other hand, bypasses opportunity to stress me. Our approach, my men. In-depth leadership in the next 3 years, up the advantage more. We will not go on the offensive anymore, so instead, let's just try to siege and up the war score, and it will demonstrate that if we can, you know, get rid of them, weaken their garrison for the offensive war to come. Perhaps I may have to bring you over here when that time comes, because you're the one with the siege weapons. We Nubians don't have them. Not to mention no money for mercenaries. My sister and my nephew were captured during the siege of Karga. Karga was in conflict? Oh, raid. That's what happened. Two more months. This is going to be Blemia's downfall because of us, and as well as the conquest of these territories. But the capital is the main aim. We're just softening them up for the future offensive war that I will start. Councils of approval during wartime. So yeah, we're gonna have to give it a rest a couple months before we start the offensive war. %, and we took this dagger. I exited my tent. Siege count sprawls up before me. A crowded maze of canvas pavilions, flags and banners fly in the damp wind. Bright colors mix hopelessly in the gray rain. Figures hunch over campfires, tossing on wood or brushy sheepskins clean. My lord returns and informs the siege that I gather my bodyguards head to the edge camp. The ballad of Adab stands before me. A shambles, a burnt shell. In the fields between, empty carts and topped carriages are mired in mud. The axes splintered and horses nowhere to be seen. Smoke rises from the burnt hovel. Windmills that once stood there in open fields have been stripped of their sails. Their spindly timbers rammed to the ground like bone claws. Bodies of this grass were rotting and covered in foul stench of decomposition. The shocked survivors stumbled this way, and then like lost souls, and rushed up the cold street towards the smoking carcass of their homes. Allow limited looting. This is going to hurt the development level a bit, and imprison most of what you can see. We just done destroyed a trade port. Sorry about that. Didn't want to do that, but it's the chaos of warfare. Yeah. When I die one day, as all do inevitably, will people still remember me? Of course, I'm such a great ruler. I know what I could use that money for. Get this axe fixed. Because it has seen some combat. It took damage from the said combat. Now we just gotta let the war score tick up. Because I failed to capture any relevant objectives, which was Abwab. While we will fall back to friendly lines, into our territory, to try to reinforce a bit. So that way we'll be ready for the offensive. Makurian pox. Oh dear. Oh God, it's right here. Which means it's definitely going to spread there. In fact, let me take off command right now. There must be a plague in the realm. Well, if there's going to be. 100% now. Pig pox. Heck. Now it's affecting a swan. Protective pots. Several of my Nubian servants have made it a habit to carve the names of angels and saints such as Raphael and Epimachos on the pottery I own. These servants are diligent, devout cubs who strongly believe that such measures will protect us from evil forces, mundane or supernatural. That said, carving a name as many pots as they might could be a bit excessive, especially since I have to use some of these pots for feasts and other important business. I think all my pots should have these inscriptions, in my personal opinion. Most, if not all, the pots in this character's household have the names of Christian angels and saints such as Raphael and Epimachos, as it's believed that such measures will protect them from harm, both mundane and supernatural. Now, Raphael, even though I pronounce it some way, is one of the most esteemed archangels in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Originally mentioned in the Book of Tobit and the Book of Enoch. The Raphael is unnamed in the New Testament Quran. However, in the later Christian tradition, identified him with healing, and in Islam, he is believed to be the unnamed angel who stands eternally with a trumpet to his lips, ready to announce the day of judgment. Now, Epimachos is there are different saints named Epimachos or Epimachus. One probably revered in medieval Nubia was Epimachus of Pelusium, a weaver who was, in hydrographical accounts, martyred at some unknown point during a period of Christian persecution in Roman Egypt. Though his original story had little connection with the military, in Nubia he was portrayed as a warrior saint. Whether unknown, he acquired this aspect due to his name, including the Greek word for battle, Mache, or because some local miracle that is lost to us. The cult of Epimachos as a warrior was fairly widespread in medieval Nubia, possibly reflecting worries about the military threats to Nubia or political instability. You know, that kind of sounds a lot like Taparo regarding his view, and him being a militaristic man by nature. Reparations paid. Disband the army. Let's recover for a while, and then we'll be ready for the offensive. Although I would be risking this capital to succumb to disease while we go on a war conquest. But their garrison is weak. There's no need to do that anymore. So let's wait a few months and bring a few allies with you. Yeah, they're going down to Nubia. The Nile, excuse me. Kablabsha. Oh, it's in my realm now. You got it. Oh, not quite in my realm, but you get the idea. It's almost here. A walk through food to reveal something deeply unpleasant. A plague has arrived in this once thriving metropolis. The skin of the infected is deep red and covered in lumps and bumps. Countless fresh scars cover the skin from endless itching. Those hopeless eyes are bloodshot and red. Already, people are caused infection with Makurian pox. It's already happening on my own doorstep. While numbers remain low, it's only a matter of time until it spreads further. Summon the physician! You know, the development around here is 22. So, now it's susceptible to plague. Stop! God damn it! I want you to, isolate the capital first. And then go into seclusion. Carry away from the stinking of Cabal's heart late at night. I and my family must remain distant from the people around until such time is right to emerge. Communication will be limited, and my throne will feel empty, which remains safe from the death and decay beyond our four modest walls. Lock the door. Move rally points to here in Kyrgyz. Dim flickering light of Christ's fire illuminates the scene as the physician lays out the plan of the attack. Those affected by Makurian pox are riddled by scars and rashes like never seen before. This plague is sent to us by Satan, and is only thinking that outside the box of traditional medicine can only hope to undo this curse. I'll take the exact strategy to prevent the spread of this plague's mine to make. After all, you're a wise nun, so whatever esoteric fantasy record we shall do. I believe in the power of the protective powers from the pots. The disease which was set to spread like a flame to paper across my room was slow to a crawl. The radical measures proposed by could have taken a toll on the economy in the short term, but Makurian pox may not be quite the threat as we all feared. Wonderful. Yeah, it'll ruin the economy a bit, but there's always opportunity for war profiteering, you know? You're in the army now, boy. The Side dynasty is known far and wide. Remember, it's a minor disease. And it's already killing a few folks. A few characters. It's still counting. But the pig pox from over there is killing way more characters. Whereas this one's already doing a number. Chance to spread to our capital is 31%. We're ready. We're ready to go on the offense. Hey, where's... Hope you get smallpox! Hope you get the Makurian pox made here in Makuria. How long does it take to raise armies over there? 44 days? Alright, fair enough. Stop. Okay. Just wanted to demonstrate how long it'll take. And I'm gonna need your siege weapons. Your army does have some of these. As well as all of your friends. Elodians, the usual war. Two kingdoms are working together to take back what's rightfully Elodian. And you lost that war. Okay, you're open. Excellent. I like it when it's all together. That makes sense because I see the tournament up there. That's where you're going. And you're going to get sick on the way, you know that? And with him out of the way, we can come in and take it. Let's do it. This is the moment. %, because we still have their spouse. Vassal reinforcements. Get down here. And for once, hire the mercenaries. Get me the Nobia company. They're there. They're present. Just need you to accompany with us for a while. Don't want to spend too much, because some of that money is going to be spent over there. War preparations. Veteran mercenaries. Their marshal stands at attention, hand resting on the palm of their sword. My lord, war is upon us, and a regular force may not suffice. I recommend hiring veteran mercenaries to bolster our vanguard and train our levy troops before they face real combat. It would cost prestige to assault your banner with hired swords, but their experience would be invaluable. I would arrange for battle-hardened warriors who would greatly increase our chances of swift victory. Seek out these veterans. Victory shall be worth the price. We don't have siege weapons, so this will do. And you got lots of prestige, so bring all your friends over. And I have money to spare. Because that's another thing about calling allies. It costs money to do that now. Prince of Elodia, and not Elodia itself. and the other prince. You got it. Oh, look at you. Actually, hold it. I was about to say, the captured spouse. Oh no, she's not prince. And who the hell's this person? It's a leper. My friend, Mr. Gropa. Since when did I imprison you? Oh, it's from the last war. Yeah, sure. All the money's gonna be spent and then you're gonna get some back. Every time. Shit, alliance expired. But it was still under, negotiations anyway. Coming from the uncle. Bishops of Courtiers. In the days of yore, Christianity first came to Nubia through the northern kingdom of Nobadia, centered around Courtiers. The great cathedral of Courtiers was built shortly after as the great center of Christian church in the region. Thus, its bishops earned a high level of prestige and respect since then. The walls of the cathedral of Courtiers have meticulously recorded their names of each bishop who dwelt here. Many of the faithful who come to the cathedral do so gaze upon this great list and worship before the paintings of these ancient bishops depicted about this. Recently, King Debutantes dedicated some funds to not only restore the list to its previous quality, but also to update the list with new information and artistic depictions of various bishops. This deed reflects well on the religious devotion as well as the importance of the cathedral. Why, thank you. This cathedral will stand strong for many generations. He updated the list for us. It thus makes that count that I hold over there more development, growth, and control growth. Thank you for doing that. Alright. Meet us over here. Link up together and we're going to make a dash towards the capital. Captain Azabias sits cross-eyed, having named an exorbitant price for his company's services. Your price is an insult, I declared forcefully. I can hire 2 lesser companies for such coin. Azabias, Tom Hawkins, pardons. 2 lesser companies that would break and run. My fighters stand when others flee, Marquis. Quality commands premium. The way the mercenaries gaze directly, and loyalty deserves beyond mere gold. I offer something few can match, an opportunity to serve a ruler worthy of your steel. Tetris Powell, this is no mere negotiation, but a battle of wills, and I refuse to yield ground to a sword for hire. Ambitious, that's the reason why his attitude's like that, no doubt. Gotta go for this. My service offers purpose, not just coins squandered on vice. So 56% chance he pays 50 gold to me. 31% chance about he'd exchange all your alternative roles were ignored. Though he will be displeased, increasing the probability of riding mercenary events. And 12% chance to become rivals. Failed negotiation. Ah, great. So now you got unruly mercenaries. As we wait for them to link up with us. Alright. Ready to go. Let's move out. Gotta head them off the mercenary captain of theirs. The army that's led by the mercenary captain to be there in 19 days. Well, this other one is going to be left behind, so... Are they going to... Well, the movement's already locked for them, so we're going to take on a much weaker army with levies only. Cut them to size. It's just any attempt to try to... Okay, they're heading towards us. They'll be there in 29 days. Flexible leader. But obviously, there's a huge discrepancy. They have no knights and no men-at-arms. So I think it's pretty much textbook. Massive advantage against them. Destroyed their army. Gained 13 trade experience with enemy martial arts awards. Crusader aroused them to join in a holy war. Now one of his fellow vassals feels compelled to defend the territory. Owner slightly in debt. Good to know. He spent it on mercenaries after all. Kushite band. At least it'll be flat, sandy ground. Got ill. Talk about bad timing. But I have a massive advantage over them. So both armies are destroyed. All I have to do is just take their capital and we'll win. It'll take a while, but still, we'll win. Debt disease is largely gone. It'll take 10 months or so. Keep eyes. Remember, there's no loot to be had. It's going to be a territory that I will have personal control over. Wish you guys would come here sooner, but too late. We basically did it ourselves. No thanks to our allies, other than just to keep them off our backs. Where is the king, by the way? The Malik. Oh, he's here. Hopefully we could drag him out. Because I don't wish to, you know, start sieges in these mountainous areas. That'll take you a while. But we're gonna get your capital first. Egyptian conquest. Well, I guess time's finally come. Could this be the end of the you know, I'll be willing to defend you after when we're done with them. I like the existence of a northern ally up there, but this could be it. Gain development and control of known counties and hosting activities in them. That's what the inspection is for up there. But now I feel compelled to to help out our friends up there. See, stuff like that is why we're in a period of discord. %. I exit my tent at siege camp sprawls out before me. A ragged camp of canvas and hovels crowded the barren slopes of urban forest at its back. The sky is choked with smoke from the fires burning in iron cauldrons. Flames so huge that they cast long shadows on the desolate field. Flags, standards, and colours flap and snap in the wind, leaning against the bare rocks that rise from the earth. Gulls suckled above, calling one another with shrill cries. Smoke drifts on the wind. Dogs have been busying themselves among the tents and siege weaponry. The stench of dirt and sweat is sticking to the air, stinging my eyes. Smells mixed up with the strong tang of urine and a rat's odor of rotting wounds. My lower lieutenant approaches the steps and informs the siege area. I gather my bodyguards head to the camp. A ballad of Adab stands before me. A cantankerous collection of stone and wood, it seems to somehow breathe black flames tangled and intertwined. Teeth bared and a grimace of agony. In the fields between antique carts dot the lanes, abandoned by pagan villagers. Stone houses stand darkened and looted, windows shattered, fresh dangling like tattered bandages. Walls of clay bricks built by serfs lie shattered and overturned as towers molder and crumble in the rubble piles. The houses, pocked by scratches and slits, lie in heaps strewn with rotting horse bones and trash of refuse. Grieving widows huddle on the hovels, wide-eyed, clutching trinkets and ragged children to their bosoms. For once, I'm just going to spare it because it's going to be my territory. Too bad it's no one of any significance. I don't want to take this area, but I'll be more than happy to take that. You're going to take too long with this. Yes, you occupy the enemy capital and all that. But if we could take more of the war score from this, well then that could be a real issue. Not to mention supply problem. So let's just go. We were just 1% short. But now we must return to friendly territory in order to resupply before we resume any offensive. But conveniently, Astaboris is right there. There's the next territory you should take. Can emerge from seclusion now. Disease is gone. Yeah, I was about to say, you know, when it comes to orders in. Oh, jeez, look at the size of them. They've already been beaten, and they are certainly going to take that barony. It's ready to fall. Thank you, but in vain. Lost the holding. Take it back. But instead, we were just forced to return to there. And one of the buildings got destroyed. It was the stables. And now I felt obligated to retake this place so we can resupply. Damn those guys for having siege weapons and we don't. And what the hell is that we just got? Port artifact. Oh, that. Undersupplied, but just stop short of starvation. After we liberate here, then we'll resupply, then we'll continue on with the war. But unfortunately, I gotta retake it. Kaga is lost. And they're gonna have it back. I damn them for joining their war. So let's resupply for now. We may have to hire another mercenary band for this. Or actually just keep it paid. There's another year left in the, if you decide to keep. I'm sorry, you're gone. You're pretty much gone now. Yet Astabors is conveniently there. Where the villages. Yeah, it's gone. So therefore allies left the war. Lost the ability to siege. Army supplies running low. That we are. But we have to get them off of there. But I fear it's too little too late. Yeah, this is going to require some reinforcements, a form of a holy order and mercenaries. Another band of them. Okay, we scared them off. God damn it! No! Just defeat them and it'll be out of my heads. Get me the order of St. Anthony. Compliers of precious records. Ah, yes. Get me the Kushite band. They're good ones. And your task is to get at Taberna. Just start sieging at the least. And the others will be with you. While we'll be engaging them over there. They must not escape. Powerful vassals have gathered here. Persuade. Hopefully, the laws will go the way I would like. We're not going to increase the war score further by defeating them unless you captured some important vassals of theirs. Or at least Dominic himself. Because we don't want to prolong the war for too long. Advantage us. Alright, that'll hold them off for a while. So we're just gonna do a stop around, and then we'll have a bit of resupply, then we'll join you in the siege. It's the only other place that's logical to us. We have to pull back, we can't stay here. Because of the supply limit here. In 4 months' time. Yeah, Captain Ismail is in the practice yard of the Kushite band. Wolf armed for a spar, mercenary soldiers watched him. This is how you normally negotiate contracts, Captain asks between exchanges. Reply company. I don't haggle, Captain. I test those who would serve me. Lower your price and prove your worth of steel. Ismail seems invigorated. Bold approach, Marquis. But if I best you, the price increases. And if I best you, I counter, you'll accept my terms without complaint. The armed lookers cheer as I clash again. This unorthodox negotiation settles in terms through skill, not ink. The captain's eyes renew respect for your willingness to engage directly. Well, I say, destiny favors my cause. Fight beside me and share divine blessings. So, 59% chance he'll pay me 25, 26% chance that the alternative proposals are ignored, 30% chance to become rivals. Successful negotiation. Right. That's because of his personality of being greedy and wrathful and all that. For future reference, next time, pay attention to the personalities of the mercenary captains. If you find a more nicer one, then we wouldn't be having such heated negotiations. So we'll let it expire for this one. That served under us. The land itself bleeds us dry. The march through the Dena of Nakis bleeds us dry. Mud swallows carts, storms lash our columns. Ambush is spread of every hedgerow. We've yet to meet the foe in battle, yet already our strength is crumbling under nature's fury and locals' resistance. Our army's lost 10% of their strength. Land discussed. Oh, this affects the Kushite band. Never you mind. I thought it was our main army. I became the culture head temporarily. Hey! Quick! Switch! Haha! We'll get in 4 years' time. Because I say so before they say, okay, you're no longer the culture head, but take advantage of that. Come on, reach the lands for us to refill. This war's gone on too long than it liked, not to mention it was heavily affected by the siege recently. So we can't fix that popular opinion until this war is over. It's gone on longer than I would have liked. We just didn't realize how wide of a front it actually is. Alright, mercenary company disband. We can do without them. Alright, they got it from here. Right. Alright, on New Year's Day, step out of my tent and rub my siege camp spawns up before me. A haphazard of colors, soldiers, tents, horses, and siege weapons. Flags flapping, fluttered all along the horizon, and at various intervals fires burn. The smell of tar and neat's foot hangs in the air. My lower lieutenant approaches forms the siege zone. I grab my bodyguard at the edge camp. Navalavattvara stands before me. A crumbling settlement in the fields between ravens feast on the bodies of fallen men. Navalavattvara soaked in blood. Rivulets leading away from the many corpses sprawled like helpless animals on a muddy street. Grieving widows carry corpses like smoldering through smoldering archways. Burnt-out buildings smolder like funeral pyres. Pig-tailed women kneel in the dirt, praying desperately. Loot it. Okay. Yeah, you did destroy another building for that. But what I'm more happy is that as culture head, I was able to pivot to make the change of, you know what, this can wait, the household soldiers. We want these now. And soon. In 4 years' time, we'll finally get what we want. Seize all the territory of his. Which means all of that he holds there. Which I'm going to have to create some vassals for this. 2 vassals. 1 feudal, 1 tribal. So thank goodness this is over. Nobadia has expanded greatly. And I can usurp that title, which does cost quite a bit. Right, this culture here, still stuck in late antiquity. Culture success between us isn't the best, especially that they're more isolationist. But it's going to create quite an environment. Okay, so now, if Fetzer will go away with time, this is in total danger from peasant revolts because of factors such as raided villages and heavily affected by siege, and it was recently looted here. Yeah, it was a pretty costly war, at least mentally. So, anyways, that's your problem. So, granted to someone who's a Nubian nobility, you handle Kyrgyz. I will hold this for myself. And for the tribal vassals, just to, you know, appeal to these people. You can feudalize at least one of them, but you don't have any idea how much that costs. I mean, I would not hold this myself. Wait again. They're of isolationists. They're into mountain skirmishing. I think perhaps they could be useful to have a vassal of that type. Not to mention someone of our Christian faith, of Coptic. So you're the tribal vassal from around there. While I hold this for myself. It'll recover from war with time. Control growth shown up there, that's good. But we could do a lot better. It'll take 3 years to get full control. But this is what the inspection is for. We'll do that in the next episode. In which is another reason why we must have access to the sea, that now that I have it. Reinforce relations with the Silk Road communities. You get to have this in the Red Sea, which can only bring Middle Eastern, Indian, East African, and Southeast Asian. It just depends on what we need. And in addition, you can also have contact with the Indian Ocean pirates, which the Red Sea also counts it. Which I don't seem to mind one bit because of, you know, the kind of character I am. Not just. If I was just, I wouldn't be doing that. And we're gonna convert this place. Though it will progressively increase with time. Which is gonna be quite the issue. As it's split between cultivators and Asharism. But I figure it's about time we introduce Coptic Christianity over there. But not Nubian culture. No, not yet. Don't want to do that. So we got plenty of work to do in the peacetime now that Nobadia has grown. So we hope you people have enjoyed this episode. As I said, next episode will be about, well, let's stabilize Hadab. And then we can get back to business and make some investments here. Such as, well, build a new trade port. It's just we have to wait for all these to go away, and I'd be willing to send my steward over for all that. And don't know if I want to switch back to Marshall, because it seems I'm doing good without all these great benefits that would have helped me out. But I probably don't have any more plans to go on offensive wars. My ambition was to get to the sea, and we could have done that. That's what I wanted. Not necessarily the complete conquest and destruction of the Kingdom of Makuria, but now they're more vulnerable. As we made it so. It's just we gotta look out to Egypt, as the Fatimids are not quitting. They're not quitting on that. But now they're committed. So maybe perhaps in a few years' time, but it just depends on how it looks and all that. Maybe we'll fight to get this to, you know, have another place to connect to the rest of this. But now it belongs to me. And whenever I choose to usurp a title, well, if you have more, well, that's up to the culture rather than, you know, anything else. But still, made it so. If I'm still a culture head after this, choose this. Because it'll take 30 some odd years to get it. The main focus is going to be on that. But again, we hope you people enjoyed this episode. We got a lot of work to do in the next one. But until then, so long for now.